Hey 8th graders, so today's Thursday, it's day 2 of our contingency plans, and it continues to be a review of exponents. Today we're focusing specifically on the quotient rule with exponents. Remember, with the quotient rule, you subtract your exponents when the bases are the same. And if you don't have anything that has the same base, then you just leave it as is. You don't touch it. So if we look at the first one, we're going to do this chunk by chunk, so base by base. So our 2/3 is going to stay put. So I'm just going to write 2/3. Notice how I made a longer fraction bar. Then I'm going to think, before I do anything else, I'm not going to erase because I learned that yesterday. That's bad. So then I'm going to think, well, this a in the denominator is really a to the first power. So -4 minus 1 would be -5. So a to the -5th power. And then b to the 4th, and b divided by b to the 4th is 4 minus 4, which is 0, so b to the 0 power. Well, because I have this negative exponent with a, that tells me that I need to move that a to the -5th to the denominator. So my final answer would be 2/3 times a to the 5th. And I'm ignoring that b to the 0 power because b to the 0 power really equals 1. So I don't have to write it. And so I'm done. That's my final answer. All right, with number 2, I'm going to do the same thing. My 4 is just the base, so I'm going to write 4. Then x is really like x to the 1. So 1 minus -1. Now that one is a tricky one, so I'm going to actually write it out. 1 minus -1. But then I see a minus next to a negative sign, so it becomes 1 plus 1. Which equals 2, so x squared, and then 4 minus 4 is 0, so y to the 0 power, but we know anything raised to the 0 power is 1, so my final answer is 4 times x squared. All right, next. 2x to the -3rd, y squared, over 4x to the 4th power, y to the 3rd power. So 2/4, I'm just going to leave as is for now. So 2/4, then -3 minus 4 is -7, so x to the -7th power, and then 2 minus 3 is -1, so y to the -1st power. Now I'm going to do some simplifying with my 2/4. 2/4 is the same as 1/2, so I'm going to write 1/2, and then this is when I'm going to draw my long line, and I'm just going to I'm going to use white to cross that off as my eraser, and write a 1 because everything else is going to be is going to go to the denominator. So x to the -7th will become x to the 7th in my denominator, and y to the -1st will just become y in my denominator. I don't have to write that 1. All right, last one. Okay, so 4 divided by 2, well, that's 2. X to the -4th divided by, or minus 1, because remember there's a 1 with the x and 1 with the y. -4 minus 1 is -5, so x to the -5th. And technically, we don't see a y here, but technically there is one. It's just y to the 0 power. So 0 minus 1 is -1. And then I can simplify this. So my 2 is the only thing staying in my numerator. X to the -5th becomes in my denominator, x to the 5th. Y to the -1 just becomes y in my denominator, and I'm done. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Let your math teacher know if you have any questions over the quotient rule, Trojans, and you will probably hear from one of us tomorrow. Have a great day.